Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Darleen for those of you that are new, and for those of you that watch my videos every single week, I just want to say welcome back. These videos are going to be about pregnancy. I'm going to combine them again for week 27 and 28 in this one video. So like you know, if you've been following my pregnancy journey, I started at week 6 and I'm planning on going all the way until I give birth. So I just like to talk about kind of like my personal experience every single week, how I'm feeling, some normal symptoms, how baby is growing and developing, and just kind of like what I'm feeling with these weeks that I'm talking about. So like I said, this is going to be week 27 and week 28. So if you are brand new to my channel, please like and subscribe. And if you are also new, you can binge watch all the videos prior to week 27 and 28 if you are pregnant and you want to follow this journey along just to see how far that you have come. So real quick, like I like to mention, me and my husband are both able to stay home and not have to take our kids to daycare and go work a job. We're able to make a full income from home. If you want more information about that, you can click the first link in the description below and we'll give you some more info on that. You can also follow my husband at Passive Income Lifestyles on YouTube. He does a lot of the passive income, just that kind of stuff is what his YouTube channel focuses on. And then mine is just pretty much like the mommy niche, just like baby, pregnancy, toddler kind of stuff. So that's just a little introduction if you are new to our channel. But like I said, this week is going to be 27 and 28. We pretty much have a lot to cover, so let's just jump right into week 27 now. Okay, so you're at week 27. You only have 13 more weeks to go. This is actually your last week of your second trimester. I feel like the second trimester is the best one because you're not super big and you don't have all the first trimester symptoms, but it can also feel like it lasts the longest just because it's the middle. But just so you know that this is the last week of your second trimester with 13 more weeks to go. So you are in your 6th month. Baby is the size of a head of cabbage or a head of cauliflower with 14.5 inches long and about 2 pounds. So right now baby is most comfortable in the fetal position, which makes sense. They just like to kind of snuggle up right now. Most babies are in that fetal position. If your baby has not turned head down, just know that they have plenty of time to still turn head down. So just know that up until this point, your baby's eyelids have been fused together and they haven't been opening and closing, but now they are actually able to open and close their eyes. They're not fused shut like they were. So if you were to shine a light on your stomach, you might get a reaction of some kicks and flutters just because your baby can now see the light by opening and closing their eyes. So your baby can now hiccup. So if you're starting to feel some rhythmic movements in your stomach, I know it won't last very, very long and it's not painful or anything like that. But if you have like those rhythmic kind of movements in your stomach, it's probably your baby hiccuping or practice breathing. So just enjoy it because like I said, it doesn't last very long. So your baby should be moving and kicking like crazy at this time. If you feel them moving a lot, I know with my first, I felt her moving, yes, of course, but with this pregnancy, I feel him move so much more that it's even starting to get like painful, and sometimes like I feel like his whole foot he's kicking out. But just know that that's a good sign of an active baby, but they are building on the muscle tone from all those kicks and punches. Okay, let's talk about mama for week 27. So you might notice that you have some hair, facial and body hair that you didn't have before, or it's just a little bit thicker at this time. That's from pregnancy hormones, so just know that that will ease up obviously when you give birth, but just know that that's a pretty common symptom just because of all your pregnancy hormones, that some moms feel like they have more body and facial hair. Another thing is Restless Leg Syndrome. So I know we've talked about it, I think at like the first trimester. That's another one that just kind of comes back for the third trimester. It's kind of like those creepy crawly sensations that you get in your legs and you feel like you need to keep moving them. It's especially hard to deal with when you're getting ready to go to bed and you just have that creepy crawly sensation where you cannot stop moving your legs. That's just like the Restless Leg Syndrome. So that's pretty common for all pregnant mamas, if that's something that you're dealing with, try to just do some activity before you get to bed so your legs have gotten some activity out. And then to try to relax them, you could take like a warm bath, shower, and kind of just try to wind down before you get into bed to kind of help with that. If that's something that's bothering you pretty bad, you can talk to your provider about more stuff to help ease the restless leg syndrome. So your provider has probably talked to you about kick counts at this time. Just take some time out of every single day at the same time. So if you're doing it at 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., whatever the time works for you that you notice your baby is the most active, to try to keep that consistent every day and to notice your baby's kicks. So they say you should have at least 10 kicks in 1 hour to know that your baby is doing well and healthy. So just know to try to take some time to do that. So I pretty much will do mine around 2 or 3 p.m. when I'm putting my toddler down for a nap. You know, I can just kind of focus on that, and when she's, you know, winding down, I can start to count my other baby's kicks. So that's something that I personally do. So it's good to start, if you haven't already, to start counting those kicks. Like I said, 10 kicks per 1 hour is what they say is perfect. You can do it on pen and paper, or you can get an app. So I have an app, and every time he kicks, I'll just kind of hit it and then it'll tell me when 10 kicks are done. So just make sure that you are starting to count your kicks if you haven't already, just because they don't want to see a decrease in kicks, because that's a sign of fetal distress. So that's something that you want to be on top of pretty much from here on out. Okay, so another really cool one is can recognize you and your partner's voice at this time. So if your partner is constantly talking to you and your baby, you know, they're definitely going to recognize that voice when they come out. If you have a lullaby or a song or a book that you were reading them, they'll probably recognize that also. So that's pretty exciting. At this time, baby's heartbeat should be super strong, that if your partner or someone was to press their ear against your stomach, that they could hear the baby's heartbeat. That's just something that we learned this week. We personally haven't tried it yet, but I mean, I'm pretty curious to see if my husband can hear the baby's heartbeat. So that's just something you can try this week for fun. So 2 weeks ago, your belly was the size, or your uterus was the size of a soccer ball. Now your uterus is the size of a basketball, so lots of growing still. Some women start to get swelling at this time. Like I said, especially if you live in a warmer area, warmer location, you might be getting a swelling more. And then if you're on your feet constantly, if you're working full time, if you are just super active, you might also get that swelling even more. Okay, so last thing for week 27 is you want to research car seat, a really good car seat for your newborn. Some women like to get the car seats that are just like the carry-ons, like kind of like the standard one, or some women like to get the ones where they can transform to the carry-on, to the rear facing, and then to the front facing. So it's like a 3-in-1 car seat. We got one of those for Vea. So I have her in, I pretty much just changed her into the rear facing one, but it's like sitting up more. She was in like the newborn, just standard carry-on car seat. So just research which car seat works best for you, and then you want to definitely get that installed as soon as you can. You can do it, you know, this week, or I would say just at week 30, you can probably start to install your car seat just so it's ready to go. You're not worrying about that. And installing that, you know, at the hospital, in the hospital parking lot or anything like that, because they will not let you, obviously for safety and everything, they will not let you take your baby without having the car seat installed in your car. So that's just something that you want to check off your list. The sooner the better, just so you have peace of mind and you don't have to, you know, worry about that car seat. So that's just something you should probably look into this week or next. Okay, so let's quickly get into week 28. For week 28, it's super exciting because you have finally reached your 3rd trimester. I know it seems like it's taken forever. Personally, for me to get to the 3rd trimester, and now that we finally reached it, it's like, yay, we're almost there. We almost have our baby in our arms. And so third trimester, super exciting. Only 12 more weeks to go, and you are in your 7th month. So just so you know, when people ask, you're 7 months pregnant, third trimester now, 28 weeks. So now you probably had your checkups every 2 weeks, but once you get to 35, 36 weeks, your provider will change those checkups to every week. So you'll see your provider weekly once you get to 36 weeks. So baby is about 14, 15 inches long and about 2.5 pounds at week 28. So that's the size of a large eggplant. If you want to compare it to what you can physically see, it's about the size of a large eggplant. At this time, most babies, like I said, at 27, have started to go in the head down position, but don't freak out if your baby has not gone into that position yet, because there's still plenty of time. So during the third trimester, your baby's brain actually triples in weight. So your baby's brain is just learning more about hearing, smell, and touch, and just developing that more and more every single day. So a protective covering is myelin. That's going to be just growing over your baby's nerves, and that's going to be really good for baby. So that's something that's going on this week, as well as your baby's brain just getting bigger and bigger and just getting more and more developed. So at this week, your baby can actually sleep and go into the REM cycle of dreaming. So this week, you know, your baby, they call him the little dreamer at week 28, just because they can enter the REM cycle of sleep at this time. So babies now are usually starting to stick out their tongue. Nobody really knows why they do this. One thing is they're starting to taste your amniotic fluid. So that's pretty exciting and cute. They're just starting to stick out their tongue. When we had an ultrasound, our baby was sticking his tongue out, and it's just, you know, it's just like you can kind of see their character coming out, and it's just pretty exciting. So they are actually doing that to probably taste your amniotic fluid. So week 28 for mama, you're 2/3 of the way there. You're almost there. This is kind of just like the home stretch, the last trimester. They say the days of your pregnancy that were comfortable are completely gone. You know, even if you know, they weren't as comfortable as what you thought, it's going to be a little bit harder to be comfortable now. Whether it's like you're getting low back pain, you're getting edema and swelling in your extremities, and you're just tired, you can't catch your breath, just like a whole bunch of stuff, it's going to be just a little bit harder to deal with in your third trimester. Obviously, you can tell I'm like trying to catch my breath just by talking, because I feel like my baby's way up here in my diaphragm and I can barely talk sometimes. So just know that it's probably not going to get any better until towards the end of the third trimester, when they say that your baby will go through like a lightening or a dropping. Then you can kind of have your stomach and your diaphragm back to normal, kind of normal size, just some more room so you can feel like you breathe more, and you can eat an actual full-sized meal, because probably right now you're just eating small frequent meals just because your stomach is kind of, you know, smashed in there. So at this time, it's a really good time to start thinking about taking a childbirthing class. You can do, I mean, my pregnancy, this one is in the middle of the COVID pandemic, so they're not having like in-person birthing classes. So you can look up ones online that you really resonate with. So one that I was looking up, it's kind of more geared toward like the natural delivery, and I mean, they have a bunch of different things. So just pick one that, like I said, kind of resonates with you. Do some of your research, check out testimonials, that kind of stuff, reviews, prices, and start thinking about taking a birthing class online. You can look at these by yourself, or you can have you and your partner kind of look at them together. So that's what we're doing now. So it's a good idea to start looking into birthing classes. Another one you should probably start to look into is your hospital visit, or like a hospital tour. I know that's all gone to virtual now. We actually did an in-person hospital tour with my first, and it was really nice just to see how the rooms look. Like you're standing in the room and what they offer, and you can ask the tour guide like lots of questions. I know virtual is going to be a little bit different, but you can do it from the comfort of your home, which is nice. So that's what we did now, is we did like a virtual home tour. So just start to get on that if you have a couple of options of which hospital you want to deliver. Even if you can only go to one hospital because of your insurance, it'd be nice to kind of get a look at what your hospital room will look like before you get there. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up week 27 and 28. Like I said, I'm going to be making these videos either weekly or bi-weekly until I give birth. So if you haven't already, you can like and subscribe to my channel. You can also turn on that notification bell and get a notification every time I upload a video, because like I said, I do not only just my pregnancy journey, but I also do videos about toddler. What I'm going to pack in my hospital bag is probably going to be my next one, because I'm starting to pack that stuff so we're ready to go. And then just like toddler videos and a whole bunch of stuff. So if you can like and subscribe to my channel. And that pretty much wraps up for week 27 and 28. And we'll see you in the next video for week 29.